MG Basketball strives to inspire and challenge coaches at every level so they may serve those they coach, teach, and mentor with excellence. Today, we're going to talk about networking. This is an important area that is so important and one I did not do a very good job of early in my career. Many people have negative feelings about networking. Some feel it is fake or rehearsed and takes away from the job you currently have. There's no doubt it is rehearsed, but as to take away from your current job, you've got to find a way or make a way to get both done. Networking can also be daunting or overwhelming to some, especially people that are introverts. What is networking? According to Finally Family Homes, networking dates back to the 1500s and was used when wires and threads were used together. In the 1800s, the word was used to talk about the American transportation system. In the 1900s, networking meant grouping radio and television programs together. In the 20th century, interconnected computers were called networks. And then actually in the 1980s, networking took on the definition that's familiar to most of us today, um, to exchange information or services among people, groups, and institutions. Um, Even though the definition has changed over the years, the theme of connection has remained consistent, and technology has allowed us to automate almost everything. But it can't replace the power of human connection. How do you start networking? Here are 5 practical steps to help you get started. Number one, what do you want? Are you trying to get a job? Um, you have to figure this piece out first. A group of like minded professionals, are you trying to hang out with them? Selling a product or service, searching for a mentor, promoting a book. Um, the point is, if you don't set a specific goal, networking will never happen. Decide what the primary purpose is first. Write it down and revisit it as often as possible to keep on track. Number two, make time to do it. Now, this is somewhat challenging. I know head coaches that would not appreciate an assistant coach making networking calls in the place of recruiting calls. And recruiting calls are never ending. Organize your day and evening so you can do both. You can make time for both. Number three, have a plan. Calls, clinics, coaches retreats, uh, Final Four, all have to be mapped out and planned. Number four, find, join, and build groups with similar interests. This can be social media groups as well as uh, clinics and retreats. Um, an example of a group would be, for instance, like Rising Coaches, which is and was specifically organized for the networking uh, piece that we're talking about right now. Number five, organize and document your connections. I know coaches that use contact apps on their phones to keep track of their contacts, calls, and call notes. And also, um, I know coaches that have specific groups or calls and text messaging that they send out weekly, like groups of um, head coaches from other sports, athletic directors, and headhunters, sports specific to their sport. Um, you got to make time for it, and in the long run, it's going to pay off for you. This is Marty Gross for MG Basketball, nothing but net.